Now available in paperback and e-readers, The Temptation of John Haynes. Given to temptation, pick up this action-packed African-American paranormal romance. Get The Temptation of John Haynes in paperback and e-readers today.
Hi everyone, it's Shawn here, and before I go into this review of the indie comic Pocus, Hocus, I want to give everybody an update on the John Haynes at Death's Door Kickstarter. Now, the John Haynes at Death's Door Kickstarter only has 9 days left, so if you want to put in your pledge to get the first John Haynes comic, you need to do it right now because time is running out for you to get your copy of the first John Haynes comic. And if you want to pick up that copy in paper or digital format, you can do so by clicking the link in the description box. Now, a viewer sent me a whole lot of Goth comics, and I want to thank that viewer for sending me all of those Goth comics. Now, I'm a big supporter of the Goth subculture and the Goth scene, and many of my stories, like John Haynes at Death's Door, feature Black Goths, and I also have other stories like Isis Legacy, which feature African American Goths. And I always liked the whole Goth subculture and the Goth scene, and I was happy to receive all of these awesome comics. Again, I want to thank the viewer for sending me these awesome Goth comics, which I will be reviewing over the next couple of weeks. Now, one of the books that really stuck out to me was your Pocus Hocus. The first 3 issues of Pocus Hocus were very compelling, and I really enjoyed reading all 3 of these issues. And I'm definitely, if there's a Kickstarter, I want to go out here and put in a pledge to get the 4th issue of this 6-issue miniseries. Now, this Pocus Hocus series reminds me a lot of Marvel Comics' Doctor Strange, and in some ways, this character could be basically like a gothic version of Doctor Strange. Now, I really loved all of the fantastic artwork in Pocus Hocus, and the story really resonated with me because it reminded me of my own relationship with my own father and something I wanted to do when he was alive, which was try to earn his respect. So this story really was one that connected with me and really made me really think about my own relationship with my own father. And I really liked this comic overall with its dark visuals and its focus on magic. Now, this comic by Alan Dunford and Will Radford and Brian Baldano is absolutely fantastic with the way they tell a story, and the way that they color it really does a great job of setting a beautiful dark tone. Now, I love the way that they keep things black and white and use splashes of color to emphasize certain scenes. And this first issue really opens up and starts a very compelling story of your Pocus Hocus. Now, your Pocus Hocus is a guy who wants to go out here, and he is out here using magic to summon a demon, and he wants to summon this demon so that he can go out here and get demonic powers so that he can go out here and be able to practice magic. So I really like the fact that they do connect your magic to the dark demonic forces, because that's the foundation for magic and sorcery is demons. So I really like that about this story. And I also like the little touches where the demon's word balloon is a different color. Again, that's how they use color to emphasize things in the beginning of this book, which shows us the young Pocus Hocus out here summoning the demon to sell him his soul so that he can get these magic powers and demonic powers so he can impress his father. And after making this deal with the devil, he gets the demonic powers, but we see him in the bar lamenting this because he didn't really get to accomplish what he wanted to accomplish. And what he wanted to accomplish was going out here and impressing his father, who wasn't really impressed with him when he was younger. And I love the way they put this together with the art I mean, the art really stirs a lot of emotions, and it really makes you really think about how driven this Pocus Hocus was to try to impress his father, Richard Hocus, and never really getting to that point where he could go out here and show that he could be just on the same level as his father. So I love this story and the way that it presents that relationship and how it was stressed and how this son really just wants to go out here and show his father he can be a man like he is. So there's some really great compelling storytelling here in just a couple of pages, and this comic does what a good comic is supposed to do. It draws you right in with a very compelling story in less than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages. You're in the story of Pocus Hocus, and you're learning more about him. And this book just drew me in so quickly that I practically finished the whole thing before I even knew it, and I was ready to go get that next issue. So it does what a great comic does. It introduces you to a very compelling main character, shows you what he wants, shows you why he should care, and it also shows you the regret of the decisions of your Pocus Hocus, who is now, after his father passes away, and before he does his first big show, he is looking for a way to get his soul back from that demon that he sold it to. So over the next 2 issues, we see your Richard Hocus looking for a way to get out of the deal with the devil, and each issue builds on the story of the next. And this is what good comics do. Good comics open up, introduce you to a character, make you relate to him, make you identify with him, and make you care about him. Then as the series progresses, the more you get to know about this character, the more you want to be drawn into his story. So the Pocus Hocus story has a lot of magic, and that magic it creates some very compelling storytelling over the course of these 3 issues. And if there was a crowdfunding project for the 4th, 5th, and 6th issue, I definitely will be there to put in a pledge to get that 4th, 5th, and 6th issue. Now, after reading the first 3 issues of Pocus Hocus, I can tell you that this is a book I definitely recommend you go out here and pick up. It's got a lot of dark Gothic themes that take us back to the Victorian and Gothic era of the 1880s. And as we're in that dark and Victorian Gothic era, we're drawn into an extremely compelling storyline. And these visuals are straight out of a Tim Burton movie. I mean, I saw a lot here that reminded me of one of Tim Burton's later movies, the Sweeney Todd. It really reminded me a lot of Sweeney Todd. A lot of the visuals remind me of Sweeney Todd, and Pocus Hocus kind of reminds me of, I think it was Johnny Depp's performance as Sweeney Todd. And I really, again, enjoyed this comic, and it just is an absolutely fantastic book with very compelling storytelling, and you won't be disappointed if you get a copy of Pocus Hocus, which shows us that you can take Gothic images and make a fresh and original story, and that story can really get the reader in. I mean, I really enjoyed this comic, and I'm really glad that the viewer gave me this comic, because I really enjoyed reading this comic, and I really, again, recommend you go out here and pick up this book, because it's one of the best comics out there, and people really need to go out here and experience how great this comic is. Now, again, John Haynes at Death's Door is currently on Kickstarter, and you have 9 days to pick up your copy of John Haynes at Death's Door by clicking the link in the description box. And I will be reviewing more of the awesome Goth comics I received from this viewer, like the Hollow North, this Ink Sucker, and the Wilds, and this Huntington Place, and the zombie book Bitey. So there will be more comic review books featuring Goth comics over the coming weeks, and I can't wait to share all of these awesome Goth comics with you. So if you want to see me do more comic review videos, you may donate to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And I will be out here looking to do more reviews of great indie comics and hoping to give more great indie creative teams like the team who created Pocus Hocus a spotlight so that more people can see their awesome comics. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spellbound, A Darker Shade of Black. Get your copy today at your favorite online bookseller.